My name is Robin Wallar. I'm the lead pastor of Lift Church. Lift Church is a church that is on a mission to birth and nurture a discipleship movement that will see churches planted on university and college campuses across Canada. Right now we have church plants at Mohawk College, Brock University, the University of Guelph, and McMaster University. And we're on a mission to see at least 10 planted in the next number of years. You know, at Lift Church, when we think about church planting, we've really tried to distill it down to a really simple idea. Disciples that love Jesus and chase after Jesus will introduce other people to do the same. In other words, disciples that make disciples will lead to churches being planted. By trying to bring church planting back to the basics of reproducing, multiplying discipleship, we've opened church planting up to a whole number of new opportunities and new people. Because church planting is really that simple. We got to go back to the basics. Keep it simple. Discipleship and evangelism. Reproducing followers of Jesus are really all it takes to plant a church. And so what we've sought to do is raise people that love Jesus and can introduce them to do the same. In our case, the university and college context is the perfect place to do that. People are seeking answers to the questions, who am I and where am I going? By introducing them to Jesus at this critical juncture in their lives, we give them the opportunity not just to chase after Jesus themselves, but to be mobilized to create a movement of disciple-making disciples. So if you're thinking about planting a church, I would encourage you. It can seem scary, it can seem overwhelming, but if we go back to the basics, it's just about raising disciples that make disciples. The basics of evangelism. Let's make sure we keep communicating the gospel of Jesus Christ at the center of what we do. Church planting is actually really simple. It doesn't need to be overwhelming and it doesn't need to be complicated. If you're thinking about investing in church planting, I would encourage you to join with us or others or the New Church Network that is sowing into new church plants. There is nothing as effective as planting a new church for seeing new believers come into the kingdom of God. There is nothing as efficient from a resource standpoint and nothing as impactful from a people standpoint. So I would encourage you, sow in to new church plants. Let's sow in generously to see many new people come into the family of God. One of the most amazing parts of the story of Lift is that God has always provided what we need. We have continually stepped out in faith. A lot of people said there's no way you can plant churches on university campuses. But we said there's tens of thousands of people that need to know Jesus. We're going to go plant. And God supplies where there is faith. The challenge is that we always have had to step first, trust God to supply. The supply always comes after our step of faith. And so I'd encourage you to not doubt God's provision. Lean into Him, trust Him. He will supply if we are faithful to announce the word.